Hey YouTube and Transformers fans, I'm here just to talk about the new Transformers 1 movie. I just saw it and got home and sort of wanted to gush about it. I'm going to do this video, which will be a short, just my thoughts on the film, and then I'll probably do a longer one separately that will have spoilers and whatnot. This will be spoiler free. This will be a spoiler free video, so don't worry about that. But as you can see, I did pick up a bit of memorabilia, merchandise, what have you. It is a Orion Pax drink cup. Got a straw here, and his head pops open. If I can pull there we go. There we go. Yeah. There's no straw here. You probably could attach a straw if you wanted to. I don't know how watertight this thing is or how well it works. I don't actually plan to use it for drinks. I wanted it because it's merch. And here I have it next to my Slurpee mug from the 07 movie. So, yeah, there's that. But my thoughts, TLDR, it was a good movie. It was definitely, I felt it was a good movie. There were a couple things that, I thought weren't as good throughout. There was just a couple of moments, really, that I didn't like or had an issue with. But overall, I felt it was like a really solid 9 out of 10. I thought it was a good movie. There were a couple moments where I felt it had some Michael Bay fight scene vibes. Mostly good, but there were a couple where it's like, oh, what's going on? Turns out he was a producer on the movie, which I did not realize, so that's probably why. But overall, most of the fight scenes were solid. The story definitely drew from various, previous Transformer continuities, but it still felt fairly unique. Excuse me. It was definitely a fun movie. I definitely felt that the characters were portrayed pretty well. I was a little surprised by the voice of Megatron because I didn't initially know him by name, but in the theater there was a little blurb between him, Chris Hemsworth, and Michael Key. I don't remember his full name, but the guy who played B-127, and they were doing a, hey, thanks for watching this in the movie theater, and I saw him and I was like, wait, that's Bernie from Godzilla, oh my god. So that was a little epiphany there, and having only seen him in Godzilla really, and he's more of a comic relief character, I was like, I wonder how this is going to go, because Megatron is obviously going to be a more serious role, and I think he nailed it. Honestly, it was really good. I really felt the intensity coming from his portrayal of the character, so that was great. There was. I really don't have any major complaints with any of the characters themselves. I think the biggest complaint I could possibly bring up there is sometimes I felt Orion Pax's mouth looked a little weird, but that was honestly pretty minor. I mean, but I've always been more of a faceplate guy. I'm definitely more into the faceplate look, so maybe that's personal bias. I really liked all the designs, honestly. I can't wait to get some more of the figures put out for this movie. There were so many of the original cast, just sprinkled throughout the background and stuff. It's very easy to be like, oh, hey, I remember that one. I remember that one. Oh, I know that one. So that was really fun. Not really a spoiler, but the Quintessons do show up because, they are literally in the trailer, so that's not really much of a spoiler. But, they weren't really part of the movie. Well, actually, I don't know if that would be considered a spoiler. I mean, they're there. They're there. I would have liked to have seen more of them, but hey, they were in it. So, that felt more like a throwback than a story point. So, but overall, I definitely would recommend seeing the movie, whether you're a casual fan or, you know, if you're watching this channel, you're probably a bit more of a bigger fan because I know my channel is a bit small. But I definitely enjoyed it. I would recommend it. Absolutely. I enjoyed it more than the last, you know, 7 films that have been in the theaters. You know, the Michael Bay Transformers, you know, they definitely revitalized the franchise, and I don't want to be too harsh on them overall, but, you know, if you were looking for things like plot and character development, that wasn't really that wasn't really the place to go. This has a bit more of those things that were lacking in the Bay films. You know, and they still had cool action fights. They still had cool designs. A little less, you know, shrapnel flying around the screen per se, but, you know, still plenty of big explosions and punches and kicks and stuff. So, you know, you won't be lacking for action. There's definitely plenty of action. But yeah, and I think that's really it for my initial thoughts. You know, I'm pretty sure most people are going to know by now, if they care, that there is a couple after credit scenes. One's right at the beginning of the credits, and then the other one is all the way at the end, you know, like they do with like Marvel movies and stuff. I'm not going to say what happens because, you know, spoilers. But, you know, it wasn't anything super important, so if you really wanted to, you could skip those, but they were interesting. I'm glad that they put them in. I always appreciate little tidbits like that, and I really do hope this movie does well and we get more figures and hopefully, you know, some sequel movies or maybe a spin-off cartoon or something. I like where this is going. I really dig the vibe, and there were some pleasant little surprises throughout the film that I will talk about in the spoiler video. But overall, I just, I really had a good time. You know, today has been a good day. I got paid, I paid some bills, I got some groceries, and then I went and saw the new Transformers movie, and it was good. It was good. So yeah, today's been a good day. So yeah, I mean, it hasn't been perfect. The only reason I had time to go see it is because I'm off work due to minor arm injury, but, you know, nothing serious, nothing serious. But still, I'm glad I was able to see the movie in theaters, because I wasn't really sure if I was going to have time to do that. But I did, and I usually don't see movies in the theaters. The last movie I saw in the theater was Godzilla Minus One, which is back in December of last year. And then before that, I think it was Jurassic Park Dominion. Maybe, I think, yeah, I don't remember if 65 with Adam Driver was before or after that, but I don't tend to go to the theater very often. I'm not much of an outdoorsy crowd person, but, you know, when it's a movie I really like, especially if it has Transformers or dinosaurs, I will, you know, go out and see it in the theater, you know, grab a little bit of popcorn, get that experience, the movie experience. So, yeah, it was a good time, a good movie, and, you know, if you haven't seen it, I say, you know, go and see it. It's worth seeing at least once, even if you're, you know, a more casual fan, or, you know, maybe you wanted something a little more in-depth than the Michael Bay movies. I mean, it's not, you know, like a super sophisticated, you know, thriller drama or anything like that, but, you know, it had, you know, more of a plot. It wasn't just big robots fighting. Don't get me wrong, we all love a bit of that, and there was some of that in there, but it had a little more depth, so that was fun. So yeah, I think I'll stop my rambling now and move on to making the spoiler video. So I hope you guys will join me for that. Yeah, easy for me to say. And, you know, hope you have or will enjoy the Transformers 1 film.